Hey guys, Josh here, and in this character bio, I will be doing Wally West New 52 version. I know there's been a lot of controversy with that. Now, I just want to make it clear, I don't hate the character, I just hate how DC Comics mandated the writers and the artists of the comic to make Wally West a minority character. That's actually confirmed, by the way. You can ask the writers. It's been said in an interview, DC Comics told him that they could bring back Wally West, but he'd have to be a minority, which I don't think is right. Like, I understand the whole need for diversity, all that stuff, but I don't think it's right to force that. But whatever, that's not what this video is about. Anyways, in New 52, Wally West was introduced in Flash issue number 30 for the New 52, and finally in Future's End, they've really tied up the bow on like his actual quote-unquote origin stuff, which is pretty cool. I don't hate the character. Obviously, DC has to go in a new direction with the characters. They just can't repeat what they've done before. So this will be different than the original Wally West origin. It's actually quite different from the original Wally West origin. Now, usually I put the superhero names on there. He will be Impulse in New 52. I confirmed that via Twitter personally with the writer of the Flash. No, actually with the writer. Not writer, sorry. The artist, Brett Booth. I tweeted him. I have a picture of it still. In case he ever deleted it. So yeah, he will be Impulse, which is why his costume color scheme is like Impulse's. So without further ado, let's begin. So its origin, Wallace West is actually his real name. It's Wallace Rudolph, I believe, West, but people just call him Wally. And he's the son of Rudy West, which is Iris West's older brother, which we've seemingly never heard about until now, which is very weird. Now, Rudy left him with his mother when he was just a baby, which is kind of screwed up. Now, it's believed that, so they say Wally West is biracial in the New 52, so it's believed that his mother is African American or black, either whichever one you prefer the term wise, and his father is white. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it, considering Iris and Daniel West are both Caucasian, white, whatever. But anyways, when the crime syndicate attacked during the whole Forever Evil stuff, Wally was separated from his mother and put into the care of his aunt, which is Iris West, in Central City. So from basically Forever Evil onward, he was cared for by his aunt Iris. Now, one thing about Wally is that he looked up to his uncle Daniel West kind of throughout his whole life, which is very common. I can relate to that. I look up to my uncle quite a bit myself. He looked up to his uncle Daniel West a lot. And if you know anything about Daniel West, he is the New 52 Reverse Flash, which I did on another character bio on. So when Reverse Flash, which is Daniel West, was put into prison, Wally West didn't really take that well. So lacking a proper role model, Wally got into trouble quite often. This pushed Iris to ask Barry on to be that role model for Wally. And Iris eventually set up a meeting between Wally and Barry, where Wally, you know, he doesn't really like Barry, especially because Barry is one of the reasons Wally got arrested, because Wally was graffitiing a wall and Barry caught him. But, you know, eventually Wally goes to a baseball game with Barry and Iris also, and they start to connect at the baseball game. You know, it's all going well, but Wally, the group of friends he's with, convince him to kind of join them in this crew, and they attempt to shoplift a store, which doesn't work out, obviously, and gets him in more trouble. So Wally gets a second strike, which obviously, if you know anything about baseball or anything in life in general, usually it's like 3 strikes, you're out. So Wally's second strike prompts him to participate in a visiting session with his uncle Daniel West, which Barry Allen sets up. Now, Daniel is paid by actually Barry to tell Wally, you know, to keep his head clear and all this other stuff, which actually does convince Wally to be better, because he really looks up to his uncle. So if his uncle's telling him something, he's going to listen to it. So over the next 5 years, Wally and Barry bond more together, creating a kind of father-like bond between the two. It's very, I like this a lot. I'm confused. I'm not confused, but I find it interesting that in Barry's own words, it's more of a father-son relationship than like a brother relationship kind of thing. Now, in this storyline with the Flash comics, during this whole thing, the future Flash is, you know, traveling back in time to correct mistakes he made, which contributed to either a lot of life being lost or something happening with the Speed Force. So in the future, 5 years later, Daniel West breaks out, returning as the Reverse Flash causing havoc. Now, at this time, the future Flash, which is in the blue costume, also comes back to the past to kill Reverse Flash, which he actually ends up doing, which saves Wally and Iris, because during the Reverse Flash's kind of tirade across Central City, Wally and Iris end up getting killed. Well, Wally gets killed, Iris gets crippled. During this time, the current Flash, which is Barry in red, eventually comes and fights the future Flash, which, you know, they're both Barry Allen, so it creates a Speed Force burst whenever they hit each other. Now, during the brawl, it's revealed in front of Wally that Barry is the Flash, and, you know, at this point, like I said before, they have a father-son kind of like relationship here, where Barry is Wally's kind of male role model, for lack of a better word. So Wally is trying to help Barry out, and he goes towards the fight, where he ends up getting struck by some of the Speed Force feedback energy. This connects him to the Speed Force, just like Barry Allen's connected to the Speed Force, and he gets basically Flash powers, to put it very simply. During the fight between the future Flash and the current Flash, Barry ends up dying, but not before telling Wally to be a hero, you know, and use the Speed Force powers he now has for, you know, good. And that's pretty much his origin. From here, he becomes Impulse, unless they change that last minute, which I doubt they'll do. So this is Wally West's origin, how he becomes the Impulse that he will become in the future. And my theory is that when the future Flash stuff gets all corrected, I'm pretty sure he's going to be, you know, Flash's partner in the current timeline. I'm sure they're going to find some way to not flesh it out, but to, you know, kind of fix it, because obviously they're not going to go through all this just to take it back. That'd be a waste. But anyways, abilities: Wally has superhuman speeds, reflexes, healing senses, and other Speed Force conduit abilities, such as phasing and whatnot. He's also a very skilled artist, due to a lot of his graffiti art, which is, you know, the only thing I don't like is the fact that when he was introduced in New 52, they immediately have him, you know, getting arrested. That just seems kind of, not stereotypical, but that's not really painting the best image when DC's already going through enough trouble from turning a lot of the characters black or half black, whatever have you. But anyways, that's it for Wally West in New 52. I hope this kind of educated you guys. Like I said before, Wally West in New 52, he's different from the original Wally West that most people grew up with. So go read the Flash comics. That's it for this one, and I'll see you guys later.